We start, though, with the negotiation talks in Hollywood between writers and the studios. Tre Lovell is an LA-based entertainment attorney. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we heard yesterday something that some of us, anyway, didn't really think about too much, I think, and that was that an awful lot of writers have the position that even if their union, the Writers Guild, settles at some point with the studios, that if SAG-AFTRA, the actors are still out, they have no intention of going back to work. If that were to happen, then things would still pretty much be at a standstill, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Although, the union would be governing that, and if the union's going to want to make a deal, they would certainly want the unionship to go along with it. But there's a lot of solidarity here. This is the most significant entertainment strike probably in history. There's a lot at stake. And so each union wants to take full advantage what it can to get what they want, and act in concert. So if that were to happen, it would be very, very problematic. And would be difficult to even get a deal done because there's so many different moving parts. So I don't know if the unions would allow that, even though the solidarity is there, because if one union can get a deal, they're going to go for it.
So are the studios looking at at least for right now, the solidarity between the creative community and the different unions there? Are they going to wind up, if they can't siphon off writers and separate them from actors, do they have to face the prospect of bending a bit more than they had originally hoped they would have to?
I think they will. There's a lot of crossover with what the two unions want. In terms of economics, both sides want increased base pay, minimum rates. They want more revenue from streaming. They want regulation of artificial intelligence. And so how each side handles that is going to be very important. And if they act in solidarity, the production companies and the studios are going to have to deal with them, as one big group. But the unions need to certainly, as they negotiate respectively, remember that whatever they negotiate, whatever terms are being forwarded and furthered with respect to compensation AI, it is going to parlay into negotiations with the other respective union. So in that way, they always kind of have to be thinking about the brotherhood of the other union.
One of the things that we understand is an issue, a key issue, maybe even more than AI and maybe even more than money, is the number of writers that will have to be present in the so-called writer's room for any particular production, that the writers want a set number. The studios don't want that. And I can see how people can side with either point. On the one hand, the unions are obviously trying to protect their interests and want to make sure that their membership have jobs. On the other hand, the studios, they have a point too, don't they? That, it's their money, and if they don't need to have, say, 10 writers and they can do it with 5, why pay for the extra 5?
They do. The whole production model has changed with streaming and these other platforms. The episodic season for TV is getting much less. It used to be 21 episodes of seasons. Now we're down to 8 to 10 on streaming, and so there's a lot less work per show, and the writers are really getting hit with that. So because of that, they're really working hard on trying to have minimum weeks that they'll be working there. As well, in the writing rooms, the conditions for working have gotten worse, much more informal, not enough support. So so the writers are really focused on the working conditions, which parlays into any type of profession. You want to be able to be comfortable and be able to have the environment that allows you to do the best work. I just don't think the studios are really given a whole lot on that issue if they kind of go more with the writers, because they can do it in such a way where the economics will fall in, but the writers will have the best conditions to produce the best product.
All right, Tre Lovell, thank you so much. LA-based entertainment attorney.
Okay, when we come back, what lessons